Saturday night is going to bring us West Virginia versus Penn State in Happy Valley. The only problem is, guys, this thing is not going to be close. The last couple of years we saw Ohio State and Notre Dame go at it last year, where they kind of finished in a close one in week one on Saturday night. Go back to 2021, we saw Clemson and Georgia, where I don't even think there was an offensive touchdown scored. You're not going to get that same result this week. This week is going to be Penn State covering the minus 20.5, because ultimately, and if you watch the Florida State LSU video, I said Florida State's got a really good team this year, probably the best team they've had in years. Same thing applies to Penn State, where this is a season where they could make a run at the 4-team college football playoff. Next year it's a different story, but this season I've got very high expectations, and unfortunately for West Virginia, Neil Brown is still on the hot seat. You don't have that much in returning production. It's not looking good for you, and I think week one could be a very rude awakening. I mentioned that West Virginia doesn't have that much returning production. They actually come in at number 60 in the nation, so about that midway point. But if you look on the flip side of that, at Penn State, they come in at 55th. Now they're 102nd in returning production offensively, but if you take away Sean Clifford, they're going to be all right. Katron Allen, Nick Singleton rushed for 1,800 yards last year, 22 touchdowns. Both had a receiving touchdown each. Penn State is going to be just fine. They have nothing to worry about over there for the Nittany Lions. It's more of a question of just how well will that defense stack up. Penn State brought in one 5-star wide receiver. They brought in Dante Cephas from Kent State. You brought in Storm Duck, the 4-star corner out of North Carolina. You got pieces that you needed in the transfer portal. You didn't go out and just get the top guys. You got guys that are going to come in and make an immediate impact. And really, that's all you can ask for in this situation. West Virginia, they went out and got Devin Carter, 6'5" wide receiver from NC State, a very big threat to this Penn State defense, but I just don't think it's going to be enough. You also got Gallagher, 4-star athlete, probably their best recruit they got this offseason. But like I said, I just don't see enough on this West Virginia offense, or this West Virginia team in general, to really put up a fight against the Nittany Lions. You got a home game in Happy Valley. It's just one of those where I really like this Penn State minus 20.5. I don't see a world where they don't hit that. If they do, it's going to be because Drew Allar just did not play that well at all. If you look at Drew Allar's recruiting profile, 6'4", 6'5" guy, 232 pounds out of high school, ranked number 3 nationally, number 1 in Ohio, number 1 quarterback prospect. This is a very, very talented guy. He's pro style, but I also think with his size, he's got a little bit of speed to him. He's got enough speed that he can probably make some plays with his legs. So I think this is a breakout year for Drew Allar. I'm putting him in that same category as Cade Klubnik, Beck from Georgia. It's a lot of guys that are talented that people are kind of expecting to perform, and I think they're going to do just that. Drew's not going to be a seasoned veteran. He may make a few mistakes early on. He may force some throws that may end up in an interception. I just don't think West Virginia is going to have enough. Drew Allar is going to have to throw out 4 interceptions to lose this game for Penn State, and I just don't see that happening. Katron Allen and Nick Singleton may both rush for 100 yards. Drew may throw for 1 or 2 touchdowns. Ultimately, though, I'm all in on this Penn State team at this moment. On the flip side of things for West Virginia, you've got junior quarterback Garrett Green coming back. He played in a couple of games last season, threw 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, under 1,000 yards. Nothing really crazy, but he also wasn't the starter all last season. If you remember, JT Daniels was the starter at West Virginia last year. Now he is at Rice, so he'll get his shot at Texas and Steve Sarkisian this week. But again, this is your leader if you're West Virginia. I think I may still have his stats pulled up to show you guys. Yeah, so 40, I don't think y'all can see it, but 43 completions, 78 yards, 55% completion percentage, 78 attempts, 493 yards, 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. So not a bad QBR compared to what JT Daniels had. But again, it's just a situation where I don't think West Virginia have the weapons that it's going to take to get past this Penn State team. Offensively, you get C.J. Donaldson Jr. back. Okay, I had a brain fart. I couldn't find him. C.J. Donaldson, 7 games last season, 87 attempts, 526 yards, 8 touchdowns on the ground. I knew I wasn't tripping, but I don't know why the junior wasn't on there. It was really throwing me off. But you get him back. You lose Tony Mathis. Again, looking at their wide receiver core, you lose Bryce Ford Wheaton, who was electric in game number 1 against Pitt last season. But again, this is what you're looking at. There's not really just too many names that stand out outside of Devin Carter on West Virginia. There's, Malachi Ruffin's a redshirt senior at the cornerback position. You get Lance Dixon, the junior transfer, who's coming in, going to play some linebacker. This is just, it's a team that isn't going to do that great this season. And unfortunately, you're catching Penn State at the best spot they've been in the last couple of seasons. And you're just going to be the first victim on their schedule. So best of luck to West Virginia this season. But ultimately, I'm taking Penn State minus 20.5.